Everyone will ask you, what does it take to be successful in real estate? It's really not much different than any other business. Almost every business that hits the ground running has to build up a clientele. You have to find the clients, you have to figure out where the money's coming from. But if you're only in it for the money, it's not going to work. Nobody ever wants to admit that someone is more successful than them because they're lazy or because they weren't consistent. They want to say, she slept her way to the top. Oh, he had daddy's money, or he just got lucky. Oh, the algorithm pushed them out. That took dedication. That took consistency. Maybe somebody put them in the same room with somebody to where they could make a business deal that made a difference. But the fact is, people don't come back to you as a repeat client and send clients because daddy started their business. When I started in real estate, I actually got my real estate license. I went to school in 2004 originally. I went to school for other stuff. I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. And my babies were 3 and not even 1 yet. And it just wasn't something I could do. So I stopped. I waited. I raised my kids. And then I got to a point to where I could devote as much as I needed to it because I knew I was going to give it my all. And in the beginning, I made every excuse you're making. Every one. Oh, it's not working. I'm not getting business. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. You will tell yourself everything you can to make yourself feel better about failing. There's no excuse for failure. Don't quit. Don't give up. Stay consistent. Because the fact is, 85% of people don't make it in real estate after a couple years. But if you're consistent, it's going to pick up. And you can hit the ground running and make something of yourself. It doesn't matter if you just stick with it. The thing is, people don't understand it's all about your determination. Sure, is it great to be in the right rooms with the right people and learn from the right people? Yes. But you know what? I did not have one single soul showing me how to get my leads, how to make it in this business. I've had people along the way that were a stepping stone that I watched a little bit here and I watched a little bit there. I never sat down in a training or a coaching. When I first started out at Keller Williams here in Tennessee, I sat through one of their coaching classes where they give you this spiel of ask every single person you know, do they want to buy, sell, or invest? Call everybody you know. And then they'll work with you for so many weeks and take so much of your money. That's not wrong. You do have to do that to an extent. There comes a point where you have to realize business is always about people. Always. And if you're not meeting people, you're not building your business. And it does not matter what kind of business you're in. You have to meet people to build your business. Can you meet people on social media? Yep. I've done business with people I've never met. I've done business with people who don't even live in this state. I've sold homes and bought homes with people who've never stepped foot in the state of Tennessee. I have sold to aunts, uncles, mothers, brothers of people that other people have looked at stuff for them, or they came at the inspection to look at the house, or it doesn't matter. The point of the story is you can build your business by going to the golf club and meeting people on the course. You can build your business by your kids' sports sphere. You can build your business by your social media sphere. But if you're not kind to people, you're not going to have a business that's going to last. And I would much rather lose a deal than force someone to buy a house. So when people say they're a salesman, I do not look at that. I am not a salesman. Do I sell homes? Sure. I'm not a salesperson. I am an advocate for someone looking to buy or sell a house, and I offer them legal representation to the best of my ability without being a lawyer. We use our legal forms. I make sure they know their rights. I make sure they don't get screwed. And I make sure they know not to screw someone else. I mean, what goes around comes around. And if you don't believe that if you're planting bad seeds, you're going to grow a bad harvest, then you might want to go read your Bible again. Because facts are, that's exactly what's going to happen. And if you're not taking care of people and more worried about what they're getting into and more worried about their finances than your own, then your business isn't going to succeed. Because at the end of the day, that's what I'm worried about. I'm not going to force someone to buy a house. I'm not going to force them to spend at the top of their budget. I'm not even going to try to talk them into it. I'm going to say, hey, if you spend at the top of your budget, do you have enough money to replace a tire? Do you have enough money to go out to dinner? Do you have enough money to take care of if this breaks down or your annual maintenance on your home? Business isn't always about money. It's always about people. And I don't think I've met a business other than maybe stocks where, you're pretty much a lone wolf, that it isn't about people. It's always about people. And it's not about what's best for you. It's about what's best for them. And in the end, that's what's best for your business. It really is. So, if you're struggling and you don't know how to get your business off the ground, start with people. Start with how you can serve. Because I don't know about you, but for me, it doesn't matter what's going on with the war or a recession or anything else. God's going to provide. And if you're good to people, you don't have to worry about that either.